Hello, my name is Abe. Welcome back to Darkest Dungeon 2. I'm absolutely loving Darkest Dungeon 2. Even if I get a little upset at always losing party members on the first death's door trigger. Even though I sound a little angsty, I'm loving Darkest Dungeon. I find myself wanting to play more Darkest Dungeon, but unfortunately I have to, do things like make dinner and sleep. We're gonna embark. At the end of the last run, we spent our tokens. We're gonna have a ton of items on this run. I wanna check something real quick though. Increase candle chances. I really wanna upgrade the stagecoach. In particular, inventory slots. I wanna get as many of those as possible, even though it's gonna take a lot. Increased loot from running over road debris. And that's kind of the reason why. I'm realizing now, being able to hold on to inventory slots, we can hold on to like good in items over the course of a run, get as many of those as possible to help make the final boss easier. Because that's the not only the final boss, but maybe the layer bosses as well. They are freaking hard. I have fought 2 of them. I have not seen the one from the Tangle. I've not seen the one from the Feater, I believe. And I've not seen the one from the Swine Caverns, if there even is one there. But let's jump into a run. Embark.
Sanctuary, as fleeting as a dying star.
Architress says, I watched someone failing their way through a boss fight last night. They must have passed over a dozen consecutive death's door checks before losing their first character. My lord. See, I seem to be getting luck with the Resolute, but I'm not getting it very much luck with the death's door triggers. Let's jump back down to Denial. We could keep going with Resentment, the second chapter, but I actually feel like let's jump back to Denial, since we have defeated this chapter before. Defeater? And maybe we can try some different party compositions and actually get some upgrades and candles and stuff, which will make chapter 2 a little bit easier.
The shackles of denial must be destroyed.
Must be destroyed. Pixelay says you can aim exactly for those layers. I'm learning to aim away from those layers unless I have the exact party composition to deal with them.
We would spend our days rambling the woods, talking excitedly of esoteric theory and ancient mysteries. The crossroads.
All right, be 1 second. I have one very final important thing to do before I begin my run. I'm pouring myself a drink. Earlier today, I really wanted to get outside. I've been playing a lot of Darkest Dungeon lately, so I went for a walk. Went down to a local pizza shop, picked up a calzone soda. Oh, I'm ready. I'm full of food. I've rested at an inn. My stress is low. My relationships are high, I hope. And we're ready to play some Dankest Dungeon. In before pizza coma. No. I am pizza full. I don't know what to do with this guy. One thing I'm picking up on, as I'm playing more Darkest Dungeon, I'm realizing a lot of the gameplay changes that they made in Darkest Dungeon 2 is kind of designed around nerfing stall meta. The stall meta in Darkest Dungeon 1 is, hey, we're handling the enemies and there's only like 1 or 2 left alive, and I'm just gonna use the Vestal to keep everyone at full health over and over again. I did that in Darkest Dungeon 1. The only move that I used on the Vestal was basically heal every turn, because there's not really any reason for her to do anything else. Now, her heal has a freaking 3-turn cooldown. It says cooldown 2, but that's cooldown 3 turns. Every 3rd turn you can use Divine's Grace as a heal. It's a big heal, but all of the heals in this game, or at least most of them, can also only be used when targets are low on health. So it's way more focused around managing health and not having access to heals every single turn. Units like the Leper, the Plague Doctor, the Occultist is, I think, one of the only units who has a heal he can use infinitely every turn. The problem with this, of course, is that it is a range. It is a chance to heal, and then he also has a very heavy bleed going along with it. Is that really a bleed for 3? My god, you have to upgrade that. But yeah, I'm realizing more that to replace not having access to stall meta healing, that's why all of these units have things that maybe heal themselves and also give themselves tokens. The dodge, the block, these are all supposed to be used to counteract the fact that stall meta is strong. That being said, I've been having some decent luck on the runs, but the bosses have been kicking my ass because they're DPS races, which is a little boring. Like, I really wish that units like the Man-at-Arms were a little bit better, but then, you know, when he gets stressed out, he just loses 80 raw HP and goes down to 4 health. Get a really, really, really manage stress if you want to be using a tank. Let's, Pixley says, the bleed from the Occultist works well with Cauterize from the Runaway. And that's another thing, is that, like, I can't really see all of the synergies right now. I'm starting to see them as I'm unlocking skills, but I can't really see the synergies because all of these skills are unlocked, and people are always telling me, oh, this skill is great. Oh, the Adrenaline Rush is great. Okay. Howling End is great. Okay. Bloodlust is great. Okay, it's locked. Divine Comfort. Okay, it's locked. Necrosis. I actually don't know anything about this guy. Maybe we'll actually bring him along for a mission.
Zealotry. An undying blight.
So that's a lot of talking for me to say. I'm going to be playing some of this game. I think we might also bring along a Plague Doctor. We can have a little bit of a Blight synergy here. We're maybe a little bit Blight focused, but I kind of like it. You can do a lot of healing, but you can also do a lot of stress to other units. Damages self, heals an ally. It seems so bad. Everything he does heals or hurts himself rather. Target damage, block, stress, remove. Self-heal 35%, self-damage 20%. Maybe we'll try the heal skills on this guy, and then we'll also have a Plague Doctor to remove some stats. Maybe we'll also bring along a Jester to help deal with the stress from the Flagellant. Harvest bleeds the middle two, I believe. And then what else would we bring along? We could bring along... Is there any, like, good combo? Res Piercing on combo, that's actually pretty okay. Who would we bring along in the second position slot? Maybe a Highwayman? I like them pretty nicely. Get that riposte out. I really like the Highwayman, like, self-buff capabilities. Duelist Advance, Tracking Shot, Take Aim are all just like fantastic skills. We also have paths that we have unlocked that we can maybe play around with, like Surgeon. Melee skills up, healing skills better. This path gives you more candles to help unlock things. This path makes the unit sometimes better. So maybe we could have a bleed Plague Doctor. The melee damage would get pretty intense, and then the heal, Battlefield Medicine, can only be used in position 3, so we would have to roll it like this. But it says dibs on the Highwayman. You will get dibs on the Highwayman. I thought that the paths would be locked into the characters when you selected them. That is not the case. So we could have a bleed Surgeon in the third position. Name the Plague Doctor instead of Paracelsus, Pixelcelsus. It says Pixel. The Flagellant, Maniac, sacrifices Blight potency in favor of flexible positioning, debuffs, and disruption. Maniac. So Punish becomes a knockback and applies combo. Fester still clears a corpse. That's still a heal. Endure is still... I think Endure is actual garbage. Lash's Gift. Self-heal. Target steal. Wait, so you have two? No, you have a target self-heal. And you heal self and steal all negative tokens from an enemy. It requires an ally with negative tokens. So you put the tokens on yourself. Very interesting. Acid Rain can be used from the back line. Applies a debuff and has a chance of applying combo. So way more status effect focus as opposed to damaged focused from the Wanderer path. Because Acid Rain is targeted from the front here, from the back with the other path. I don't know what's better, I gotta be honest with you. Kinda like the idea of trying this out though. And then I would love a unit that could fit in the back a little bit better. Max health, lower resists. Each ally on turn start has a chance of getting stress immunity. And then the Highwayman has Rogue. If he's up close to the front, he gets more damage, and Point Blank is better. I don't even have Point Blank unlocked, so maybe we'll stick with the Wanderer, although the Rogue does seem pretty decent. Or maybe we'll actually maybe swap him out with a... Swap out the... Maybe we'll put Jester... but we don't really want them to move around this much. I think this is a terrible party composition. I think I'm just gonna stick with normal paths on people, which is like, I know boring, but like I feel like I need to unlock more skills to properly utilize these paths right now. I guess Rogue is literally just better because if you're up close to the front, you actually do more damage. So we can keep that like that. So sure, you can move up to the front and just start swiping. Although we don't have any good backline targeting, but we have third position targeting. Nope, Incision only hits the front too. Wow, this is gonna be awful. We really do need things that hit the back. Ugh. Maybe we'll just go for it. Let's just go for it. All right. I have no idea, but we gotta make progress though. Highwayman's gonna be Mud because it's easier on my brain to remember this. You're gonna be a rogue, so you want to be up close to the front, and maybe we'll try to unlock Point Blank Shot over the course of this run because it should be pretty easy to unlock. We just have to go to one Shrine of Reflection. Paracelsus can be Pixel Celsus. Emboldening Vapors, we might want that over something like Ounce of Prevention. Ounce of Prevention I've had, you know, you're gonna be doing a lot of damage. You don't need this. But Ounce of Prevention does seem pretty bad because units have like 30% resist, making a 30% go to a 45 is like not really that much. Does it save you over the long run? Yeah, but not by much. And then for the Jester, I really don't like the fact that he's gonna be moving around a lot and getting you out of position, but oh well! We'll deal with that, I think. But really, we should be using it like this then. Oh, but his damage is lower from this position. You know what? You have to be a Wanderer, so you're gonna be doing poison from the back. So you're gonna lunge forward. You're gonna keep lunging forward. All right, this could work. The Jester, Samanti. You can be Arcatraz. It's not a spider, but it's close enough. And then the Flagellant, Damien. Aranistan. Welcome aboard. All right, let's get the show on the road, shall we? Wanderer, Wanderer, Wanderer. Let's make you a Virtuoso. Sorry that took so long. It kind of happens when you're playing Darkest Dungeon 2. There's a lot of management and pre-run management.
This was a beautiful place once. What a pity.
+3 speed on the Jester is interesting. That's what I'm thinking. It's healthy. If they get bled, we can still remove it with the Plague Doctor. The bleed chance happens very frequently anyways because units have very low bleed resists anyways. But what I'm really thinking here is they can move first, and then the Highwayman can move, and then we can just keep swapping positions. In fact, maybe we should have actually rolled Incision on the Plague Doctor now, because if they're just if they're just moving back and forth, you can stay in position 3, but you cannot use your Battlefield Medicine from this position, from the front. So at some point, we will need a unit to move in front of you. It's interesting, let's say. So self, forward, target, mark. Try to kill some of them. Now we could Duelist Advance, or we could Pistol Shot and Daze, but you are already moving at the end of this turn, so I think we want to advance. Blight Res Piercing on combo.
A slow dissection.
Not quite dead yet.
An unavoidable
And
end.
this is why I don't like the Plague Doctor. People say that the Plague Doctor is great from the back, and in fact, the game even says you that, good backline damage, but we don't have access to the Noxious Blast that hits the backline, so you can't do anything from this position. 4-3. You have the same bleed and blight resist. We'll put the higher DOT on you then. So they are gonna get turns, we're gonna get stressed out, but we have a Jester. Can the Jester, I hate the horror. I think, can he remove horror? He gives us a chance, oh my god. He gives us a chance every turn of becoming immune to stress. Are you immune to stress? What's your condition? Use 4 medicinal herbs. I don't know. Can your Ballad remove terror? No, that's the wrong one. Inspiring Tune. On upgrade, it removes terror. It can also only be used when targets are stressed out. Understood. Let's do a Duelist Advance. Put Pixel Celsius a little bit further back where they can actually operate. We might want to adjust the party order a little bit here. Battle Ballad would be very interesting to push you forward and have you do more damage. And in fact, Battle Ballad with the crit bonus on the Highwayman, that's a lot of damage. You know what? I like it so much, let's do it. We're gonna let this unit have another turn. Push you to the back order doesn't really change things that much, so you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna keep blighting the unit in the front. You are Horror now. You're not a rogue, right? Yeah, you're just a wanderer. I think we'll actually unlock something on the Plague Doctor next, because they are... I just don't think they're particularly great right now. Heal a target, clear a monster corpse, adjacent monsters get blighted, or just hit this guy hard. Let's hit him hard. Mother of Zerg, welcome. I saw you playing a little bit of Darkest Dungeon 2 earlier. How's your runs going? I like the fact that the Jester applies combo. I think Jester, Leper, or Cultist would be pretty strong. You get stress relief, you get the combo application, which can help you when you are being blinded constantly. I think that would work rather well. Thank you. But this party composition right now, I feel like it has a very hard time doing damage to the back line. Oh, stress resist.
Empowered.
But that's why we're doing this. That's why we have to do this. We have to learn how to handle these parties, these unusual characters who do behave differently than they did in DD1. Oh, we have so much garbage. What's your what's everyone's conditions? Use medicinal herbs, visit the hoarder, Killing blow on fanatics, killing blow on cadavers. Well, why don't you have the Death's Door resistance? The Flagellant can have... I guess Blight resist. Plague Doctor can have burn resist. Highwayman can have damage and speed buff. Actually, let's put this on the Jester. Since he's always moving first, he can apply that to someone if we need him to apply it to someone. We have a lot of trinkets too. On entering Death's Door, get stronger. You know what? I'm gonna put that on ye old Flagellant. When stressed damage, have a chance of healing. Put that on the Flagellant as well. Or if he resists a bleed, blight, or burn, he heals. He does have... That's actually incredible. This with that trinket that bleeds you every turn, oh my god. Let's give you this, so now you actually have healing. In fact, we can give you stress damage healing as well, but I think we'll just keep it like this for now. Apply on hit daze, random ally at end of turn speed. If speed is low, become stunned. Okay, well, I mean, you're always gonna have speed. Apply on hit immobilization. At turn start, get dodge. Give you, let's give you apply on hit and turn start dodge. If stained item equipped, plus 100% damage round end, minus 30% damage. Healing given, minus healing received. Apply on hit immobilization. Gain when missed stun. I mean, I really don't want to miss anybody. So there you go. You have a chance of immobilizing enemies. That seems very bad. We don't do any like knockback or push around or anything like that, so let's ignore that. All right, gave everyone some trinkets. Mother of Zerg says I beat the first boss on the second try. Oh, grab it. Haven't gotten to the second boss yet because I keep dying. Tis Darkest Dungeon 2. I had a occultist, a runaway, a flagellant, and a leper. I'm a big fan of the occultist leper because I had a very good run with them. Died to the Fishman boss. I've only defeated a lair boss once. Well, incorrect. I've only defeated a lair boss once without losing everybody. All right, a little bit of stress, but we'll deal with that later. Whiskey bottle. 2 targets, minus stress, a chance to increase the relationships. Let's use that right now since we can. Drink up. Oh, you won't regret splitting this with me. What's your relationship status now? Still under still under good. So there's a 0% chance of forming relationships at this inn. That's okay. Boxing glove, 2 targets. Round start, 5% chance of strength until the next inn. I don't want to use all of my items. I want to hold on to inn items for the future, which I think is something that I should be doing more.
One learns quickly.
Let me grab my wolf cub because you might as well lock it in.
It cannot fight, but perhaps it can calm.
In the Tangle, plus 15% damage. On entering a region, 1 wheel, 2 maximum wheels. For each location, a chance to produce whiskey. I like this because we can actually get a lot of
is a good thing.
Party relationships after the first little biome that we're in. And then if we get a new wheel, what's the wheel bonus? More travel healing. That's actually pretty decent. If we equip this, then we can get bonus wheels for the next area. But let's look at the routes.
Every road
Tangle or the Sprawl.
Torment.
Resistance
Every turn
encounters and resistance
bent on our
scouting.
destruction.
These are like the main combat things, right? We should probably do it. Visit an oasis. Reward 3. Resolute chance. Keep the flame at 40, get 4 candles. kind of like the mastery tokens on this one. We'll go to the Sprawl, which is Fireland.
City.
And if we're going Firerand, we don't need the Tangle bonus. We'll take this and get
Madness.
1 wheel. That way we'll enter at full wheels and we'll get the travel
Repaired and
healing.
refurbished.
Now
Ready for the
skills.
leagues ahead.
This is the tricky one. You're a wanderer. I think that's what we want you to have. Because I really do want access to the battlefield medicine ability. So you're going to be at the back. You're going to be doing a lot of Noxious Blast. Blinding Gas is something. This is what I think we want, though. Duelist Advance, Tracking Shot, and Take Aim are incredible. The Jester, a better stress-relieving ability, I think is fantastic, because we are going to be stressed out at some point. And we know we're going to be using this. I also really like things like Slice Off to make vulnerability apply on the 3rd position, but we actually have very poor 3rd position targeting unless we are taking pot shots with a pistol. This is a better self-heal, and this heals other people more. Let's get the better self-heal because all of his abilities hurt himself, and we'll even upgrade him too, I think. Clear a corpse to apply blight to nearby enemies. Corpse clearing's pretty good. Deathless, Acid Rain. Let's take Acid Rain. Maybe try to focus backline a little bit faster. And as a result, we'll go Duelist Advance. I do like Pistol Shot because if we do a 1-2 punch with Razor's Wit applying Mark into a pistol shot, that'll stun an enemy for a turn. We won't be taking Tracking Shot if we do that, though. And I do love Tracking Shot. Take Pistol Shot. We'll try to maybe do a little bit more status effect dealing here. All right, so everyone has something except for Pixel Celsius. That's okay. Let's go to the Provisioner. We have a lot of cash.
Remind us of a time before the end.
I'm not going to spend too much because I would very much like to... That's pretty interesting. I'd very much like to get loot in the next area and then also save money to buy other things in the future, of course. Laudanum. Whiskey. Stacks to 6. We have a chance of producing this ourselves, though. We don't need it. Stale bread. You can buy bread at every inn. We don't need to buy it here. I do like the idea of... I mean, if we're going to the burn location, we'll take anti-burn. And I also like the idea of taking some flame. I really like grabbing flame items. Just they're super cheap, and you get a lot of value from them. And then I honestly think we saved the rest of our cash. We started with so many items in our inventory because of the fact that we had a pretty decent previous run, that I think this is totally acceptable. And we will have the... Oh, burn resist. That's actually very positive. I will give you burn salve, and you can have the light. Our dead man can have the light here. I didn't look at quirks at all. Rough patch route scouting. Worse relationship chances. Uh-oh. Still 0%. Terrible. Who are you? Ascetic. Resolute chance, lower positive relationships. A lot of the positive quirks have negative effects. And some of the negative quirks have positive effects. It's interesting. Second wind. If HP is low, more damage. Greedy. Focused on their share. Nervous. More speed, but meltdown chance, and a chance at getting stressed. Move resist, and gain when moved by enemy to super dodge on occasion. Any relics? plus 100% damage. Round end minus 33% damage. You know, something else we could do is we could always focus on insane early damage. Like our Highwayman could be turn 1, double damage, and then he gets worse over time, but he can help to end the fights faster. Maybe with the riposte, that can be incredibly useful. But I don't find myself fully understanding that right now. But I think we're good to go. Let's get the heck out of here. Everyone has some sort of trinkets, except for you, but I don't want to make you daze yourself on a miss. You have 10% stun resist. That seems pretty bad. Rest, sprawl. Let's get the heck out of here. What do you have? Conditions. Yeah, I know. I was looking at that previously. Reynolds says, spend what you can, for wealth no longer has meaning. Yeah, except don't spend everything. No relationships as expected. I don't know what I was waiting for. If indeed it ever did. Icor says bounty hunter available pog. Was there a bounty hunter in that inn? Where was the icon for it? I didn't notice.
The great cities of man.
So hazard, rough patch, hero story. We really ready to lose all of our armor? Rough patch, lair, order. We want to go to the Oasis, and we want to go to an assistance encounters, but I also want the hero story. But these are mutually exclusive. I think I'm going to say no to the hero story early, and I'm just doing it because we're going to go down to 0 armor if we do that. That's a little risky for me. It also makes Mud happy. Wait, resistance encounter. Yeah, the map is very evil. I know I like literally want to do more character unlocks, and we'll get there. There was a poster above the fireplace in the background. I would never have seen it, says Glader, if someone didn't call it out in a Twitch chat I was watching yesterday. I had no idea that's what it was. Alright, guard dog. With riposte dog. Low blight resist. Stack up some DOT. You've been buffed, you add, or you resist all stress. How does that work? Each ally on turn start. Does that mean on his turn, every ally has a 15% chance of reducing stress, or resisting stress? It's weird, is what it is. Let's wipe you down. Might be able to kill you. I mean, with the res piercing, it's close. It's very close. I think we had to do more damage to kill him. Oh no, he's literally dead. Perfect. We got nashed. Hopefully we don't get pulled. That's the annoying one. So you're already dead. Let's go for one of these guard dogs. I don't really care about the bleed. We didn't resist that stress. We are weak though.
Quickly.
Let us hope we finish this quickly. Oh, because of the bleed? Dummy, you are bleeding to death, you piece of garbage. Yeah, I get it. I'm gonna battle ballad pull him forward. Removes his damage debuff. I was actually kind of hoping we would get the damage buff, but that makes a lot of sense that happens actually. Toss out a... Could clear the corpse, but I like the fact that we can actually daze both of these and then purge the dodge. I actually think we just smacked the dog. Okay, well, I mean, now I think we go for you. But you have a turn. That was dumb of me. We should have just used the... Can we do the knife attack from this position? Hold on. Yes, we should have used incision. Because that would have killed the dog outright. Now I have to actually spend another action killing the dog.
Messy.
Because the dog resisted the blight debuff. Shell shock, a little bit of stress. The Jester gets very stressed out. I was looking at that. But when stress damage has a small chance of healing. Who has the other heal trinket? Trinket on resist, right? I think it literally just activated. It was you. I need him to be able to heal himself. Any trinket that allows him to heal seems good to me. He also cannot... No, we can fix this, we can fix this. Give me a take aim. This is a weird one, but I gotta pull him forward. Do a, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. Removes 3 damage. This is the problem with the Plague Doctor. Has virtually no backline damage. Because we haven't unlocked it yet. But here's my thinking. This actually fixes his positioning. Now, this man can hit someone.
Stumbling and stupefied.
Where did you get stunned? Oh, that was just his ability. His ability inflicted the stun. All right. All right, all right, all right. So, it's a guaranteed crit, so we can actually just straight up kill the dog. So let's do that. This is why I love the Highwayman. Guaranteed hits with guaranteed crits. Tons of dodge he can buff himself up with. It's incredible. It's incredible. Might be able to kill you, but it has to be with the DOT, I think. Use our very weak heal. Relationship token farming says Rental. Did someone get a relationship token? I did not notice. That's surprisingly high damage, 5 to 6. I need him to be using that on more turns. Okay. There's gonna be a little bit of learning with this squad, but I like it. I just need slightly better ways of keeping the dots coming, I think. Figure it out. Missed that one. Just Shrine of Reflection. There was no penalty for going right instead of left. Let's go. So who needs an ability? It's gotta be the Plague Doctor. They need new abilities. Although, Point Blank Shot would be really cool too. Give him a new ability. I'm going Plague Doctor on this one.
Chapter 2. Head of the class.
We get a little event here.
The professor was a relic, hacking and wheezing his way through a hopelessly conventional curriculum.
Oh, I'm old. I'm just tenured into this position. The books have lots of health. The professor has little health. The books are faster. I act, professor acts. Love the shading on these two. I love the look of the Plague Doctor. The glasses are awesome. Review notes. Self, -1 stress. Lecture. What a buffoon. Review notes. Heated rebuttal. Sit down. Best I wait till his rambling is done. Derisive snickers. Okay, stress, disprove the professor is our objective. Heated rebuttal, 100% chance to hit. I have to wait for him to stop talking. So, lower stress. Conclusion. Now the lesson truly begins. Now I rebut. actually... Coughing fit. Oh, he's dying. He's probably contracted something very, very terrible. So we just review our notes, we prepare. He lectures us. We say, actually... Yeah, I love these combats. I love how they're not combats. They're just puzzles, but also give you an insight into what the characters are going through. Like they view it as a combat. They view it as a fight. I killed him with words.
She delighted in the combative debate, and behind her bookish glasses, reveled in their outrage and confusion.
Oh my god, we have Plague Grenade. He's done it! You can be good again! So we're gonna get rid of, I think, Incision. We're gonna take Plague Grenade, and then you are being moved to the back. Speed means we're almost always going first with the Jester. Even if we don't, we can open up with something else for the Highwayman. But now we have middle two positions that can kind of like go back and forth. And you've blinded him with science. No, we murdered him with science. And we can finally hit units in the back with the dang Plague Grenade. Freaking fantastic. Okay. I think we'll actually start like this, because they move so slowly. Well, actually, they're pretty fast. Okay, we'll have it how we had it before. But I was thinking about having them in the back. Whatever, this is fine. Let's just go.
A simple choice. At least it should be.
It should be. So if we go to the resistance encounter, we bypass those two armor hazards we have, then we can hit up a watchtower, a hospital, an encounter, and then a hoarder. Don't really feel like we should go to the watchtower if we know where everything else is, and I think actually what we should do is go to the right. Sorry, Mud, Arcatraz, and Pixel, but we can go question mark, assistance encounter, resistance encounter, oasis, lose a wheel, hit the rampart. Can't get that. It is impossible. Can't get that one. It is impossible. It's too quiet. Just a little quiet here. The academic study. Forgotten. It's a forgotten something. A distraction, but an intriguing one. Let's Jimmy, you open and see what's inside. So we can get relics and books or just a trinket. It's like a unique trinket, right? Let's go for the trinket. Books is like in items, but let's see what we get out of this. Flagellant loves us. We have a negative quirk, Neat Freak. Depends on cleanliness for sanity. We also get blood smeared calculations. On turn start, take 1 damage, convert dodge to crit, and block to strength. And at the end, we had this before. You take 1 damage and you convert backwards. It's actually pretty okay, I think, on the Flagellant since he's already taking so much self-damage. It allows him to deal more damage if he has dodge or block. I don't really want to turn his block into damage, but his backline smacks and his frontline smacks actually are pretty heavy hitting. So this could be kind of decent on him. No one else has a passive heal. He does with the Fates Foreteller. We might even want to... like we could get rid of the Mortal Ward, although he's probably going to enter Death's Door frequently. I really like Fates Foreteller. And I do really like this too. Could also work really well on Mud, because you can stack up a lot of dodge on yourself, which will turn into crits, and you can stack up crits on yourself, which will turn into dodge, because he has take aim, which gives you one of each, duelist advance, which gives you a dodge, and then if you ever have, wait, upgraded, it gives you 2? No, it gives you 1. This gives you 2 crits. And then they just turn into dodges at the end of your turn, and then you can keep comboing them back and forth. But health-wise, I think it's a little hard to justify because it is very, it hurts you a lot. Like a lot. Like a lot. Doing take aim with that trinket is just doing 1 damage for no reason. Yeah, I don't know how it works if you're stacked. If you use it with take aim, you will get 3 dodge tokens. Also, I suppose there's another question. The question is, what happens when you convert from crits to dodge and dodge to crits when you had super dodges? Will those transfer or not? I do not know. Turn start, gain a dodge. We'll try it on you for like a combat, but I don't have high hopes. I'm gonna go to the right. I think it's just gonna lead to too much damage taken over time. It could be decent on the flagellant if we had better ways of, oh, we can get this one. Better ways of healing, but we don't have too many good ways of healing. Hey, more story.
Who will face the half-remembered horrors of their past?
Let's get point blank shot. I'd probably get rid of Wicked Slice if we had point blank shot, because I like the Death's Door resistance piercing, but to have an ability for him that can move him back is quite decent.
Highwayman. Chapter 1. Freedom.
Ixley says, I think the symbols are unique, so dodge plus is not equal to dodge. There are situations where it means both, where it doesn't mean only dodge, it means either dodge or dodge plus. I have had that come up in the past. I forget exactly in what situation that happened, so I could be wrong, but I do believe that has come up, where dodge counted both. I don't remember, though. I don't remember where it was. Maybe it was like dodge gets converted into block and block gets converted into dodge or something like that. I don't remember.
A prison riot. A fleeting chance to escape incarceration.
This is my chance. I have to get out. There's several jailers. Sorry, gaylors. Lunging cuff. Self block moves forward 3, target combo. Knee strike, double damage on combo. Stone missile, target removes horn. It is a special buff. I don't see horns. Toxic. Pain plus. Pain heals at the end of the next turn? That doesn't seem bad at all. All right, so cuff, little lunge. You've inhaled and moved to the back. You're ready to sound an unavoidable alarm. But I can't knee strike you because you moved backwards, so I have to actually just lunge one of you guys. Or I could just knee strike you. What do they do? I can't see what they do. I guess we'll just lunge at another one of you guys, get another combo out there. We dodge. We dodge. Well, we don't. We just take less damage. Class, gain. That horn will bring trouble. So either this guy is going to move to the back, or this guy is going to blow the horn, or this guy's going to blow the horn. So we should focus on killing like the first position enemy. So we'll lunge for the third position enemy. No, let's Yeah, let's lunge for the third position enemy, and then we can knee strike the first guy. You just smacked me once. But I'm still in range of knee striking you. I'm also realizing that their attacks push them forward a little bit. Get out of my way! So now we're at the back again. I've got to get away. So the alarm is just stress. That makes sense. A lot of these seem to just be like stress management, along with combat management at times. So you're moving next. You're gonna move to the back. So I'm gonna stone missile. If we waited a turn, we could throw the stone missile at them and make them drop their horn, or we could go for a kill. So let's make sure that you go. Apparently I'm very good at murdering people. Get out of my way. I don't know, being pushed back might actually be a little bit of a helper here. Because now I gotta deal with this guy, but there's freaking 3 tombstones in the way. So that'll wipe you. And stay down. Then what are you gonna do? Are you gonna keep blowing your horn? You know what? I can just keep punching him repeatedly. I don't know. He's probably not gonna drop his horn. He's like, I don't know where these tentacled tombstones came from, but you're not gonna escape from my prison. Hey, come here. Get out of my hay.
He would be a fugitive, a hunted man, but a free one nonetheless.
Reynolds says he ignored the puzzle. I didn't ignore the puzzle. I figured it out. We just have to kill the enemies. I didn't have an opportunity to throw a rock because I kept dodging. I was too good. Point blank shot. Back 1. Knock target back. It applies combo. Look at those biceps, says Reynolds. I earned that chain. You know, I have to acknowledge that there is something tempting about being in position 1 with that trinket that doubled his damage. He could do 12 to 24 on turn 1. And in fact, we could buff that with the Jester if we really wanted to. We could have the Jester load him up with Battle Ballad, push him to the front, maybe give him a crit, and then he can hit him with that turn 1 point blank shot, which could like murder something. Pixley says Rogue gives you another 25% damage on top of it. Yeah, like I see the value of a Rogue, I just didn't have access to point blank shot, but now that I do, I can see it being a little bit more interesting, but we can't change paths. You have to start with the path, so we're just kind of locked into the Highwayman here. Not that there's anything wrong with that. We'll get rid of a Wicked Slice for it, though. With crit token, 48 damage from point blank. It's a lot of damage, but there is a problem with it. The problem is, if you have a long fight, think boss fights, then you are going to have a very hard time you're gonna have a hard time killing the boss. Well, you're gonna have a less of a hard time killing the boss that quickly, but eventually you're gonna, you know, do 0 damage by the end of it. If you have a healing boss at the end of the combat, you were doing like 0 damage, that would suck. Random doggo, welcome, hello. The desperate few. My fellows are hungry, feed them. Feels better to help folks than rob them. Their stores might hold rarities we lack. So we can get in items, food, or food. So we would be paying 12 relics for a food item. It's a random food item. I think I do like the in items. In items tend to be kind of expensive. It's the only one that, it's one of the two that have positive relationship buffs, but, yeah, let's grab some in items.
In this world,
24 damage isn't much against the lungs. That's the
purpose.
thing, you know, on a long fight like that, minus 30% damage per turn, after turn 3, you're doing less damage than normal. Good for hallways, bad for bosses. Bad for creature dens as well. I just realized this the other day. I was going through the run where I died with the Plague Doctor, and I'm like, I find myself in situations like this where I can't heal. Yeah, because the creature's den, you don't get recharges on your skills in between the combats. You just have to go. You've gotta move! So we wanna go to the right
Push
here.
forward. Lamentably, there is no other choice.
Well, the choice is don't go here. I don't think I've gotten any items from running things over.
Coach's plating is spent. We are exposed.
Ah, we'll be fine. Yeah, you could remove it from bosses, which is fair. You just have to remember to do that, which I might not. All right, what are our relationships looking like here? Paracelsus, neutral, 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 neutral. Let's go for the, kind of like the idea of the flagellant, getting a little bit of relationship boon here. Scipio Scion, welcome. I miss so many of your streams now because of work. I'm devouring your YouTube though. I'm gonna put up one of the, one Darkest Dungeon a day. Maybe not a full run. We'll see. Do we want to make ourselves faster? This is actually a very easy encounter. There's only 3 enemies. A Whippersnapper, a Whipper, and a Flayer, and an Immolatist. I think we probably don't need to use stimulants. Instead, we'll just apply a combo. He moves next. What I like is... Oh, I thought we would have a pistol shot. We do not. Never mind. Is there no combo use on Plague Grenade? I guess not. We'll just smack you. Didn't get the blight. That's okay. Res piercing when comboed. 3 to 4 damage, 3 blight. I might have to spend a couple of attacks killing you, but you should die at the end of this round. Scipio Sign, does multi-knock bow stack with barbs, tips, and dead cells? I can tell you, Scipio Sign, it does. 1 shot from multi-knock fires 3 arrows, and that's 3 barbed tips. Random Doggo says, yeah. Yeah, I think so, boss. Oh, it's magic! You know, I'm gonna point blank this a-hole. It did the lowest amount of damage possible with the damage booster. I'm extremely disappointed in you, my friend.
Messy, but effective.
Messy. I'd like you to not burn out completely. I hate the sound of those glass bottles clanking
At
around.
least has been tended to.
What does stab do? Oh, he's hurt. All right, he's hurting every turn. Why can I not? Oh! Freaking, no wonder I couldn't see how this was working. Oh my god, why does this happen every time I start the damn game? Do these not get saved? Alt. Because alt is the hold to view on everything. Hold to view your skills, hold to view the characters. There we go. I probably could have looked at the stats of the other units in those Shrines of Reflections. Just every time I launch the game, the controls get reset. Alright, that's fine. Oh, I can't tracking shot you from that location. Well, we should still duelist advance. Lucky crit. In fact, you are almost certainly dead now. I'd love it, though, if the Jester could get one attack in order to do a battle ballad. Well, or inspiring to, rather.
A petty
Science says, Abe got me hooked on Dead Cells. I just got the Floor Breaker rune. Yep. Don't ask me where you get which one, because I do not know.
Noble and necessary. The loathing whispers.
Yes. Yes, it does. Who's playing the guitar in the background? Is that because of the Jester? Probably not. That would be really cool, though, is if the music changed depending on your party. You know, we could have gone to a medic shop in order to remove some of these, but it's fine. I don't like this trinket on you. I really don't. Oh, that's probably why you did crit damage. Because you had a guaranteed crit token. That's actually really nice. Yeah, dude, like on turn start, if you start with, if I can make you start with a dodge token, you could start with a crit token. I'm just gonna give you like one of those, okay? I don't want you to take any more damage. What we really should do is swap these. We should swap that relic to a different unit every combat so that we're not just putting all of the HP on one guy, and then we can get travel healing to compensate for some of that. Wow, really? 3 question mark armors in a row. And we have to do one of these damn encounters. Oh, it's a cannon.
They seek to strike while we are vulnerable. Hold them off.
Vulnerable repair. We get many actions before they get any action. So we're gonna go for Gunman, Sword Guy, and then probably the implication last, even though it's not great. I'm a physician, not a Wainwright. Also, should have been using these, Glimmer of Hopes, we're gonna use them now. Cannon's immune to blight. That's okay. 6, 3, you're dead. If you're dead, let's combo you.
Well done.
He worked on Big Bertha. I think the cannon is also worse when it's at the front. Perfect. So we're gonna try to maybe kill the corpses first, or maybe we're just gonna try to pull the cannon. It does have, well, we actually have no movement, do we? Yeah.
Analysis is the natural
I've seen it misfire twice. I haven't even seen it fire the cannon shot. No predictions, says Renal. Oh, I forgot to do a prediction. My bad. Okay, hate the vulnerability on this one. We're gonna give it a blind. 9 HP on a corpse. You know what? He can literally kill a corpse. So we should have him kill a corpse. As in losing all of your armor has some implication. You have some implication. I don't think we're gonna burn. I hate that this guy is bleeding. So we might just want to remove the bleed, because that'll prevent us from death storing and dying.
This wound, at least, has been tended to.
Boom. The blind worked. I don't want to know what this thing does. So we're gonna get rid of the corpse, so it's at the front. I think at the front it can only hit 2. In the middle it can hit 3. At the back it can hit 4. So you want to have the cannon at the front. I don't know why you would want to be close to the cannon, but I believe that to be the case. Yes. Point blank shot for 5 damage on a crit. Hey, it's something. So I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna blind it again. Random Doggo says, that's a human without skin. Ooh, the flagellant? No, don't worry about it. It's fine. Two block tokens. Good God. Stop fixing the damn... You know, if there's anyone that's supposed to be fixing it, I'm glad it's you. You just do DOT. Well, we gotta smack it. Technically, due to lore, he's not human anymore. He is...
are human.
All heroes are human. You heard it here from the game. He is actually human. There you go. Makes sense to me, right? I'm doing that for the dodge token. Now, what do you do? On death's door, you gain stats. So I'm gonna lower my health to buff this man. Always trust the ancestor. Excuse me, he's the academic in this game. We done repairing this thing yet? I'm hurrying, I promise. I don't really want to waste the combo, but nothing else really affects the combo, so we just have to do blunt damage with a glass jar against a tank. Why can you not heal? This thing is incredibly tanky. Oh, you can't heal from the front. Oh, what? That's terrible news. Well, you're not gonna die from this one, but we gotta work on your healing capabilities. We gotta heal when we have a point blank shot active. This is gonna be a long fight. Death's door did activate. Kind of what we wanted. I do hate this though. We're gonna have to battle ballad him forward so we can actually do the heal on this turn. Actually, we don't have to do that. We could just do the heal with the plague doctor. But we should probably do the heal with him. This is getting to be a bit of an annoying combat, but this guy puts up so many big block tokens every turn. And we have to always be repairing. I'm hurrying, I promise. Oh, the cannon is actually gonna get the shot off first, so we do need to heal him.
Dragged back from the brink.
Oh wait, it's just loading shot. You know what, that's fine. We'll just use your heal later, I guess. I actually kind of like this for purging your block and maybe set up a point blank. I think oh, you repair! You have 5 HP too. You're gonna kill yourself. We still have 1 charge of the battlefield medicine though. I wish I could check. It doesn't tell you charges, which is unfortunate. It really should, but I think we have 1 remaining. So I'm going to go down to death's door. My dude is very unstressed due to this. We're gonna heal him once more.
Fellowship forged through toil.
And then finally, we've got a good point blank opportunity here. Crit for 31. Thank you. Someone can kill the damn cannon.
We are the flame, burning
That sucked.
brightly for all the world to see.
But it actually didn't go that badly. Well, it just says bang. Bang! Zoom! Straight to the moon. Love to be able to get items from these things we're running over. Don't seem to be getting
A refreshing
any.
commune unburdens the mind.
It's the oasis. Can't afford to tarry. Let's fill a bottle or 2. Cleanliness balances the humors. It says It says negative stress. I don't know if this is going to be wasted on the Plague Doctor, so why don't we take the other option for once? A few supplies. +5 flame, and mineral rich spring water. -3 stress, heal 10%. Yo, that gets someone off of death's door. That's incredible. My stockings got wet. We're gonna keep that hopefully for the boss fight if we can keep it for that long. You, however, do need more combat items. Why don't you take... What's coming up? I can't see it. Rough patch, we're gonna lose a wheel. Man, we are losing so many things. And then the Oblivion's Rampart. The Oblivion's Rampart is not blight, it's bleed. So I'll just give you Death's Door resist in case you need it. And everything else should be fine. I don't even think we fought any fire enemies on this one. It was just normal dudes. Up at the front, we will have a lot of blight, bleed, and burn chances. So in theory, he should get a lot of potential healing off of that. Mud, I don't know. He might get hit quite a bit, but we're going to try to keep him alive if we can. Like rats in a trap. Like rats in a maze. Hey, 2 things. I got 2 things. Loot. 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 More loot. No loot. More loot. No loot. Unfortunate. There's a stagecoach upgrade, more loot. I want to get that one. Mineral Witch, burn him. Mineral Witch? Okay, altar in the back. They're blightable though, so I have a feeling this will be okay. We have 2 units that can do both back rank blights. Unfortunately, you're both going to get actions. And you, not the sheriff. Oh, yes, the sheriff? No, Clarion Call. I realize now, it purges any positive tokens. It's not specific tokens, which is what I was confused about. That's why I kind of would like if this gave you a little bit more information about what it did, what skills did. What are we gonna do though? Inspiring Tune, you do have stress, but we're gonna let you sit for a minute. We could try to bleed. It's actually not bad at all. We could also try to combo. Combo into a pistol shot would inflict a daze with how much chance of landing? Not very high because they have high stun resist, 40%. These guys don't though, but they're also gonna move. The sheriff is gonna give himself more dodge, I think. Face Your Confession is what he loves to use. Dodge. I don't know why it says dodge, super dodge. That's a weird one. Hit the altar first, it turns into a bomb if you don't. I haven't seen it do that, but I think it only does that from the front. I've never been able to really pull these guys. I don't really do pull metas yet. I need an occultist for that. But these guys, if you just pull them to the front and then kill them, I don't think they turn into a bomb. What are we doing? What are we gonna do here? I think we should probably either Razor's Wit to set up a combo, Fade to Black to set up a blindness, Slice Off could set up a bleed if it lands. Let's go for the bleed on Mr. Dodgy Boy. I love that that landed. Bone Weaving, just a bunch of block. Block sucks, but we've got the DOT. Resisted a debuff. A little bit of stress. And you did not give yourself block tokens. You're an idiot. You should probably die from this. Get the DOT set up. Probably Duelist Advance, although we might not Duelist Advance point blank. We might Duelist Advance into a, like, tracking shot. You're already dead. So yeah, let's purge you. Well, you know what? Why not just, like, go for the kill on this guy? We can kill him in 2 turns. High roll on the damage, too. 4, 3. Could kill. The crit guarantees it. That was lucky. Bled. We're very blight resistant. We're not that bleed resistant. We can kill the corpses though to inflict some blight if we need to. Okay, your stress is high, but this is a little unnecessary now. We need to do other things first. Why don't we try a blind on the one who's going to be critting? Hastening something. Random ally on turn end plus speed 33%. All right. Oh right, I forgot about that one. I don't think we need to remove your bleed. We'd rather do it when he's lower on health so we can get the heal out of it too, I think. We could also ounce of prevention, which might give him more heals off of resist, which I'm realizing now is kind of a nice little synergy. I think this fight tends to not be that bad though. So I'm just gonna go for the dots on one of these guys.
Steady yourself.
It did crit and bleed, but next turn we'll do the cleanse. This turn we'll just go for a smack. We can't even heal on this turn. We have to do a lunge forward, unfortunately. Hopefully we can keep this guy alive. He's actually looking a little weak, isn't he? 7 blight. You're not dead, unfortunately.
A brilliant conclusion.
We resisted the bleed, which gave us a little bit of a heal, and he's also really fast. That was actually a little bit dangerous. His speed is only 3 on this round. Okay. So this is a self-heal. It's going to give 1 stress. It's going to also give strength token and super block token. Doesn't seem that bad. If we could buff that self-heal on him too, that would be nice. We're not going to remove both the block tokens from you, unfortunately. We might be able to kill you and then have you die to the blight on death's door. We don't need to apply a combo. We just want to take aim on this one. We're gonna purge the block and then go in for point blank. But this should kill you.
Malaise, measured and steady.
Now that I understand the enemies, you can understand. Oh, that wasted the crit. Makes sense. Now that I understand the enemies, you can understand more easily how to kill them. Like, oh, you can set up combos and whatnot. This time we'll tune. Like, these guys tend to do heavy bleed, and so if you have your frontline units with heavy bleeds and focus on the 3rd and 4th position first, these guys tend to be pretty easy to kill. By the way. Oh, quite a kill! I think we can actually just kill him if we attack him instead of trying to remove the bleed. But oh, less than 50% health, not less than or equal to 50% health. In that case, I'll just kill you with 1 attack. Alright, you're dead.
Fiend's strength dwindles.
Yeah, like, this is very, intimidating the first time you get to this combat. After the first time you get there, you're like, oh, easy. I understand what I'm doing. Silent treatment. If stained item equipped, round start, dodge, or stealth. If stealth crit, if no stealth, more damage taken. This is such an interesting trinket because you want it on low speed units.
The loathing of base.
Like if I had a -1 speed unit, that would be like -10 speed. That would be perfect because you want the enemies to act first, then you act, remove the stealth from yourself. Well, actually, I mean, you still take more damage 33% of turns. So I don't know. It's an interesting one. Haven't really figured out where. I haven't really figured out how I want to use that, I suppose. Not gonna get that one. Oh, and I failed this one. Oh, and I failed that one too. I missed so many things. Etasaurus, welcome. How are you doing today? Welcome to the dankest dungeon. Heed my words, you'll find yourself bleeding less. Excuse me, Iranistan, don't stress people out.
The fire is lit. The table
Candles,
is set.
+3 mastery.
The inn awaits
We have
its
a.
favorite
Oh, we
guest.
only have 3 mastery tokens? What? I don't know. I don't know why I only have. I thought I picked up like 5 or something. Lazy Eye on the Plague Doctor. Lower damage, lower crit. The damage and crit are not that bad. Alcatraz mellophobic. Music is a trigger for deep-seated resentment. That's going to make it harder to remove stress. Slow-handed, -2 speed. Amateur armorsmith, 5% chance of a super dodge every turn. Fantastic. That was terrible. Positive relationship chance buff for the inn, but so many negative quirks. We would like to visit a hospital in the next area. Oh, there's my bonus mastery tokens. Thank you. Now I have 6.
Learn
All
what
right.
can be taught, that you may stand just a little.
We get
taller
1
at
wheel
the
for
end.
free. But if I take this off, we'll still be at maximum wheels. How much whiskey did we get? I have 1 whiskey bottle. Before each location, a chance to produce whiskey. You gave me 1 whiskey bottle? That's it? You gave me 1 whiskey? kind of feel like I got a little bit cheated on that one. Still like it to hold it for freebies in the next biome, but I also like the idea of, if we're going to the Tangle,
Everywhere in ruin.
to have more damage.
Everywhere.
Candle of Hope
Need.
chance at assistance, academic studies, and oases. Visit a creature den. Goal. Reward. Flagellant trinket. If HP is low, more damage. Punish steals positive tokens, and you have lower bleed resist. Do I even have? What is punish? Do I have punish?
Conventional fare, but fairly
It's your base
priced.
ability. Sorry, what did that do again? It steals a positive token, and if your HP is low, you heal more. I don't really want him to be low, you know? Like, if he's low, he could get one shot due to a crit that inflicts bleed. Sure, he has an 81% chance of resisting the death's door, or he has a 19% chance of just dying. Whatever, we have 6 tokens. We have a lot to spend on. Point blank shot, incredible high damage. I like it. We should probably give you like I like Fade, also applying a combo. I like Slice Off, making an enemy vulnerable. Battlefield Medicine is a slightly better heal and also removes DOTs from you. But the Plague Grenade, more blight. I enjoy that. I enjoy that one a lot. Blinding Gas has a chance to daze as well, and a better chance of applying a combo. We're not really that combo focused, but to an extent we might as well, right? I do like the resists on Ounce of Prevention. Now that I realize that the, well, now that I think about it, the bonus heals on the Flagellant could be really fun. Remove combo. Let's go, I like both of these. Apply a combo mark, do more damage, have more crit, give you a dodge. Doesn't steal work regardless of health? Steal as in stealing a token? I just don't like the Flagellant being at low health, so the point of the trinket is keep your Flagellant at low health and then they'll do more damage. Okay, but when are you going to heal them? If they're at low health, you're going to be alternating attacks and heals, which means that you're not really going to be using them their damage effectively. That's what it feels like, but I'm sure you could ride that line perfectly and be happy. Ounce of Prevention. Noxious Blast. Let's go for the Noxious. Let's go for the Plague. No Crusader, why would I buy the game then? Let's go for the Punish. I also like Deathless. I also like Take Aim. I also like Point Blank. Keeping someone alive is a handy ability to have. We'll go for the damage. It'll probably get added later. Don't you see the Crusader's head at some point in Darkest Dungeon 2? I don't think I've actually seen it, I've just heard of it. I've heard that you see the head.
Each improvement, a new variable in the equation of your fate. Experimentation. Your academic
I wanted to
instincts
test this.
serve you well.
If you take off the bonus wheel, you lose it even when you put it back on. Rip.
Good.
We'll go for the damage though.
An improvement.
Exterminate. Visit a creature den. Is it a creature den? I don't really care for the trinket, but I'll probably go for a creature den anyways.
This land is truly barren.
Bro, I'm a baron. I'm a baron. Take a look at our stress. I haven't actually looked at this yet. Friendly. 88% positive. You love to see it. Unlikely to form, unlikely to form, unlikely to form, unlikely to form, unlikely to form. So we need to increase positive relationship quirks. We can probably buy some of that. Some whiskey would be nice. We have the money. I think it is definitely worth it. Oh, playing cards. 75% positive, 25% negative. The one time I used playing cards, I got all negative. Yeah. Yeah, what is that? Hold on, let me run some quick mental arithmetic. I believe that's a 1 in 64 chance. Let's try some playing cards today. Let's see who's ready to go. Although I think maybe I gave it to the cheat. And the cheat dealt. And the cheat, everyone was like, aw. Plus, minus, plus, 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 plus. Plus 2 on some of these. That was incredible. Maybe it rolls 75%, 25% twice. So that's why you sometimes get plus 2s. 1 in 16. No, so how the cards work is technically there are 6 relationships. Position 1 and 2, 1 and 3, 1 and 4, 2 and 3, 2 and 4, 3 and 4. Because there's pairs. So there's 6 relationships, and that is a 75% chance of each one raising and a 25% chance of each one lowering. But it might also roll twice because there's 2 people involved. I don't know. But yeah, so that gives you 6 at least independent rolls. So that was very good. If we check out the relationships now, 2 more here forms a relationship. Although we have very high chances of positive relationships as is. 1 here makes this go from 60 to 80. So Mud and Arcatraz can be positive here. Highwayman and Jester. Oh, I need normal whiskey. I'm gonna save this whiskey because it is stress reduction. We'll get normal whiskey. -2? Excuse me? I mean, can we do it again? Oh, I used the wrong whiskey. We rolled 33%. I'm an idiot. Oh my God. minor complaint about this game, the UI sucks. Every time I like buy an item, everything shuffles. So I bought the whiskey, and then the whiskey reordered the whiskey in the inventory because it switched from the in items to the all items tab as soon as you bought one whiskey. Look, boom, where'd it go? Oh, I don't know. Okay, raise. 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 Okay, thank you. I hate. I think getting all bad would be one out of 4,000 then. I guess if it rolled twice for each person, and that would explain the +1, +2 difference, then yeah, that would be a horrible roll. I don't know if it was all -2s, but it was all negatives. Well, that makes no sense. Why would it be +1? It would be 0 if it rolled one positive and one negative. So, you know, honestly, I don't know why it's sometimes +2. Maybe they just really like whiskey, or cards, rather. So we're gonna let these items sit. I might go oh, we're out of whiskey. Never mind. Move resist until next in. Stitching kit. Heal. Stun resist. Burn resist. Max HP. I'm going to want items for the final boss fight. So I'm going to start thinking about what I'm going to be bringing for those. I think I like... Well, I'm just going to bring Glimmers of Hope for this biome. And I like Healing Salve because it's just solid heals. I can buy a little bit more equipment. Maybe a smoke bomb? I'm not going to be fighting a lair boss on this one. Or at least I hope not, because I don't want to freaking die. I've also never seen the lair boss here. I could buy some bread to make sure that we have some for the final encounter, but why don't we just stick with what we've got for now? This is okay. Regions to Mountain 1. I have a lot of loot. Hold these. Probably don't need the burn resist stuff anymore. Let's take blight resist. And I guess we'll go more blight resist. Sure.